Is it somebody right on my core? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Like time through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here to do a reading. Hold on, let me just flip the hourglass real quick. Yes, speaking of which, my mom has found an hourglass literally in the house that looks like an antique hourglass, and I love it so much. It's amazing to look at, and it's a beautiful prop, but also it just goes along with the hourglass that we have at the very beginning that we just recently put into our intro. So yes, sunflowers and hourglasses, we are truly behind all of that. So with that being said, I am here to do a reading / request from Mama Crone from apparently a member from TXT, a K-pop boy group from South Korea, who's under the same label I have forgotten about, under the same label as BTS. But like, they're like the first boy group that has been around since BTS, because this company was apparently chugging out girl groups. So I guess you can classify like TXT, the group that Yeonjun, who I'm going to be doing a specific reading on, is like the baby brother group of. But anyway, I digress about the K-pop aspects of it all. Apparently, Yeonjun is, I really hope I'm pronouncing that right, but he is making his American debut, I believe, because this is his third EP / solo release. He has one called GGUM. Then that was released in 2004, but before, not 2004, 2024, but he was just recently promoting on Good Morning America on August 5th to kick off his promotion for the US branch of his promoting, since he has been doing so well, allegedly, in Korea and Japan. So now it's time to hit the US markets, and you always know once you can make it mainstream in the US markets, you're great. So because of that, Yeonjun, he first made his debut outside of his group, TXT, was September 19th of 2024, and that's what I said. The name of the album is called Gum. And I think he did some songs off of both albums. The next album was his first EP, which was released on November 7th of 2025. And now fast forward to 2026, specifically on July 10th of 2026, he has released part 2 of that EP album. The first part was called No Labels Part 1, and now, of course, the second album is now called No Labels Part 2. I had to make sure it was a part 2, not a number 2. But because of that, according through a quick skim that I have done outside of, and I'll play some video clips for you guys of how he was performing on stage. And you can even see in some clips how pretty much everybody in that audience has their phone out to record, A, and B, I heard thousands of people have came to Central Park just to get to see Yeonjun perform, kicking off Good Morning America's summer festival. So because of that, and he made a couple of stops there, and he's going to make a couple of more stops that I'll tell you guys about later. But here's just some video footage of him as I talk about him. So some other things that I had found out, I'm just making sure I'm not lagging. I am just a little bit. It sometimes does that with the iPhone videos that I download off of TikTok. However, this is all in promotion of him doing more promotion outside of his group. Yes, of course. But B, he could have chosen some songs to use from TXT to promote, even though his band members aren't there. He still could have used them as a way to semi-promote and bring attention to his members and where he's from, and bring and call back to where exactly like his origin story is from. However, he's actually taken this as an opportunity to bring more attention to his solo career, which, hey, I love that. So because of that, congratulations to like anybody that goes solo out of a K-pop group, because it's just it's a saturated market. So if you can find a way to stand out, which he has, as you can see from these videos, he is a phenomenal dancer, an entertainer. The vibes were amazing. I felt like I was at the concert just looking at the video, so his energy transcended through the videos. No matter what clips I looked at, literally, no matter what clips, no matter what angle, no matter how far distance I was away from the stage, I felt like I was up there at the concert at Good Morning America. So because of that, I really enjoyed that. Some other things he performed, specifically Vanilla, Ice Cream, Talk to You. Yeah, those are all very suggestive titles, I will say. I know you're like, how does that sound suggestive? It's just always a theme in the K-pop industry that when they talk about food and find ways to sexualize food, it's a double window. And as we can see from the video footage, we can definitely tell where is the vanilla and where is the ice cream. Okay, so because of that, and he says talk to you, I mean, it's a trilogy. He was performing for the fans, and you know what, the fans loved it. Everybody's going crazy about it still 6 days later. So because of that, I am here to and honestly, he broke a record by being one of the rare K-pop solo idols, soloists, K-pop soloist specifically, a K-pop soloist, not a group, a soloist, like one individual K-pop idol headlining. Headlining is the key term there on top of that, a headliner. Now that is amazing, and that is a feat of himself. So congratulations to Yeonjun on that, especially for his like US debut on top of that. But so that just shows you how his success in both Korea and Japan has brought him to this very moment, and why he should have been a headliner, or why he was picked to be a headliner. And you know what, honestly, here in America, we're currently in the music scene, in the music industry, we're trying to be a little bit more multicultural. So we're starting to dabble into what other countries have to offer us musically, sonically, and culturally. So because of that, I could see exactly why BTS is currently on tour. Not to talk about BTS, but like they're on tour, so, and like Blackpink, not to talk about them either, but they just recently had their 10-year anniversary. So because of that, all that's going on. So it's like, why not it be at this very moment to have somebody who seems to have that type of success that is going to draw in hundreds of people. So because of that, I'm just here to pull some cards to see how is Yeonjun's career popping off in the Americas, because he has a few other tours. Sorry, the cards are falling. Let me see if I can see any of the other dates that I saw. No. Okay. Well, if I can, I'll find like a little set list up there. Not a set list, but like a performance tour. It's not even a tour. It's just doing a few stops. It's not even a lot. It's not even a whole lot of stops that he's doing. I think it was like at least 5 that he really had set up. Let me see if I can find that for you guys, because I really did have that information. I thought I took a picture of it. Here we go. So his first performance kicked off on Good Morning America on August 5th. And then that following day on August 6th, he was at iHeartRadio. Chef's kiss to another one of those stations. I don't watch it, but I know that's another big, huge one to get on, especially because I know iHeartRadio hosts an annual Jingle Bells or Jingle Balls every year, and everyone goes crazy and obsesses over it. So iHeartRadio seems to be that music influencer out there. And then August 12th, the following day of this, at least the day of this recording, because it's August 11th, on August 12th, he's going to be performing at Billboard, hello Billboard, and then now he's going to be performing on August 15th at KCON. KCON. He's performing at KCON, which is Korean convention. So because of that, congratulations to just Yeonjun all around. He's got Good Morning America, he's got iHeart, Billboard, and KCON. He's set for his solo career this year. Just following off of the success of him releasing this album just a month ago, a month and a day to be exact. He just released that album and already he has a nice lineup of US tours. They honestly can't get any better than that. So let's just pull some cards to see how his solo career is currently thriving. I think I'll stop right here because I've been shuffling these cards. First, we have the Queen of Cups, which is actually quite interesting. And then we have the Hermit, which is also interesting. We have the Two of Cups. I like that. I really do like that. Actually, I like my cards out in the wrong order anyway, but we know we're just going to keep it rolling. We're just going to keep it rolling. So now we have the Justice card at the very end. And what I see here, quite interestingly enough, I'm going to pick a card for above and below just because. We have the Nine of Wands. And then we have the Three of Cups. I worked it out. So what I see here currently, well, the first card I honestly pulled out happened to be the Queen of Cups. Like, what if I reversed it this way? So the first card I picked out was the Queen of Cups, and that card just happens to represent Yeonjun. No matter how many which ways I want to look at it. And the card represents the fact that he could be full of emotions at this very moment. A whole lot of fans are loving him or into him. He's getting new eyes and new fans and audience and gaining attention. So all that going on. It's a whirlwind and it's an emotional storm because he's growing. And as he grows, he's growing as a person and an individual, yes, of course, but also just what comes with fame and growth. It can be emotional and overwhelming, especially when you're on these highs going from one significant place to the other. Like I said, Billboard and iHeart and Good Morning America. It's like boom, boom, boom. So it's like, what is it going to be like after this high has dwindled down? Like, is he going to start touring in Korea? Is he going to start touring in Japan? Like, what's the next steps after this is my question. But what I see here from the past, which happens to be what the Queen of Cups is looking at, or Yeonjun could be looking at, is the Hermit. And that Hermit, I like, not because I put it there, but I like the fact that the Hermit has appeared because it symbolizes a going within. But this is a sense of a coming out of your shell, coming out of the Hermit phase, because now it's time to promote. So now that it's time to promote, he was I'm sure TXT has been promoting since 2024, but in 2025. So he's been promoting with his team, you know, doing here, doing that, solo, not solo. So to finally take on another feat, another stretch, it's like coming out of his cocoon, his shell, his comfort zone, almost even. And that could where it leads us to this Queen of Cups card, where it's a bit emotional and a lot to take in, but it all looks good and positive, looking forward. Either or, no matter way the order the cards looked, it looks like a positive coming together with him and his fans and reuniting. It could be even a finding like a love within inside of himself again to create, and weirdly enough to say why he became an idol to begin with. It's like all those stirring up like all those emotions again, like not like it's about like coming full circle, but that's what I'm kind of getting at, where like everything has accumulated. That's why it's like a heavy, not saying else like a heavy burden, but it's just like a lot to take in at this very moment. But what I see here despite all that, what's above his head is the Nine of Wands. And it's like, even though it's like a mental blow, or even though it's a lot to process mentally, moving forward, he's still on drive. He's still on go. He's like, be a song, we on go. So because of that, he is pedal to the metal. And despite all the worries, the negativities, the self-doubts and stuff like that, he knows that he understands within inside of himself that that's that hermit doing some soul searching and knowing who you are as an individual and what you can and cannot take and handle. That brings us to that Nine of Wands, is that even though this process could be a little bit uncomfortable in the sense, like I said, coming out of his comfort zone and being seen by different eyes. He is an idol. He has been traveling and he's been in the industry. So performing for an American audience shouldn't be that new to him or foreign to him. No pun intended there. But just the fact that this is his date. This is like another solo debut. This is another milestone that he's taking and jumping at. And because of that, that was something he had to overcome with inside of himself. You know, when you set yourself up for a challenge, or you know that a challenge is coming, you know that you got it. But also at the same time, once you overcome the challenge, you start maybe reflecting, doing some inner work. How was I approaching? You can start thinking about, how did I handle that situation? Or when I came to those stressors, how did it handle? How did that make me feel? All those introspective things. I'm only feeling that with the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups is truly water, hands down. So because of that, that's all that intuitiveness, all that inner dark, deep stuff that sometimes is hard to get to the depths of. So that's where that Nine of Wands is touching on, paired with the Hermit, because the Hermit goes deep. That's why you need some light to see. But all that aside, we see at the very bottom, paired with the Two of Cups, we have the Three of Cups, which also symbolizes joy is coming together, having that support. That support could literally be his group TXT supporting him on this venture, on this solo endeavor yet again. But and so because of that, coming together with the fans, an audience, once again making new connections, making new fans along the way, is what I see forward coming to him. And that's even at the foundation with this Three of Cups, symbolizing that it's just overall joyous time, despite like what the Nine of Wands symbolizes. That's why the drive and passion keeps it going, what keeps it pushing and keep it forward, because he knows the rewards are going to be greater than the nerves in the very moment. So what do we see here moving forward? Just like I said, that balance, that bringing things into perspective and balance. Yes, but bringing things into perspective, not allowing things to weigh you down, allowing the hardships to make you wonder if you should stop quitting. So see here, we have the Justice card, which symbolizes it's all going to balance itself out, weigh itself out. It's, like I said, the extremes of having to face something that could be, like they say, it's always good to have a little bit of healthy anxiety, a little bit of healthy fear. And that's exactly what I could have, that's what I feel like I'm picking up from Yeonjun when it came to doing his promoting solo in America. And maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe that could just be simply because we're an American audience. So we are, depending on who you ask. Maybe us Americans are a little bit hard to please with our musical taste, or others people could say we are a little bit too easy to please with our musical taste because we'll accept anything. But either or, we see here that with that sense, it's like the Americans, you get polarization. Either we're going to love you or we're going to hate you. There's really no in between in the American music industry. So because of that, he could do great as TXT, but how's he going to do as Yeonjun in the there's a whole lot of Asian artists that are gaining a lot of attention, a lot of momentum in the US industry. So yes, it would be fitting for him to take another chance at it. And that's where this Justice card is coming into play. Just all that and all that's going on with him, and with the decision to be a solo artist, a solo K-pop artist, headlining in as a just can we just take a moment to realize that as a solo artist to headline a very big festival when you're usually a part of a group, that in and of its own itself can come with own stressors, but he did it. He rocked the stage, and he proved time and time again why he is as successful as he is and why people truly love him as an artist. So because of that, some cards that I pulled just to see what else is going on with his tour. We see the star, which could symbolize navigation. We have a main female, which makes me question, because who is this female? Maybe the females could be the fans. I'm not sure. It could be a very diverse population of people that have identities. So because of that, I'm not exactly sure what his fan base is, but 8 times out of 10, you can pretty much assume it's going to be a female fan base. So because of that, that could be the main females, the fan base that he is I don't want to say seeking, because like I said, the star represents the navigation, but it's just, well, that could literally just symbolize that he is the star, that he is the attention, what's being put on the pedestal. So we have a little bit of a courthouse here, which I find very interesting. So I've just got to pull one more card. And a message. Well, very interesting. Well, typically courthouses go along with justice, honestly. So that just coincides with the fact that there is some sort of, when it comes to this, everything just feels like an inward card, just outside of, because at the very top, right where the 9 of Wands is, where he's all up in his head and in his mental, but he's still going to push through with the drive. We have the star card, and then we have the courthouse, which coincided along with justice. And then at the very bottom, where we have the 3 of Cups, where we're celebrating with the fans, the main female base, possibly, allegedly. And then we have the messenger riding in, and we see like this duality yet again with the, which is why this justice has to come in to bring in that balance between the Yeonjun, honestly, it's just Yeonjun, like they say, an onion has many layers to itself, and that's exactly what Yeonjun is peeling slowly, one by one, by going from different country to country, trying out his hand at success to see how receptive he is outside of TXT. That's the best way I could put it. So with that being said, it definitely looks like it definitely seems like he's going to continue to still be well received moving forward, as the 2 of Cups symbolizes, and even the Justice card doubled down by the courthouse, and the messenger even doubles that down too. So that's what's coming in. Russell's riding into his future, what he's riding into success. And the 3 of Cups even symbolizes that too, with a harmonious coming together where everybody is celebrating. So because of that, it just is positive all around. So congratulations to Yeonjun from TXT, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. And it seems like he's got a lot of high hopes, stars for his future, and I can't wait to see what's going to continue to unfold for him as he embarks on being a solo artist further. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I sure did. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. It would really mean a lot to the channel. Please and thank you. Leave your comments down below. What do you have to say about Yeonjun? And do not worry, I am still going to get to the Blackpink 10th anniversary, and I am still going to get to BTS and then performing now that they're back, because they did just recently perform in Baltimore, and I believe day 1 got stormed out because of the tornado warning. So because of that, no cap, I'm not sure if they got a chance to go back and they continued the show on, or if they rescheduled it for day 2, but there is still a day 2 for the BTS tour. But all that being said, that's what I have to say about K-pop. Oh, and then the third one that I still have to come back for is the fact that Cat's Eye, actually, why is every group that I just talked about under Hybex, Gavin, whatever Big Hit Entertainment is now rebranded as? But yeah, I just don't know. Congratulations to Yeonjun, but like, I mean, Blackpink is not a part of that. They are part of YG, but like everybody else, like Cat's Eye. I'm also going to talk about their leader. How are you going to be leaderless? So anyway, their leader has taken a hiatus. Now Manon gone, Sophia gone, Cat's Eye just disband at this point. Anyway, with that being said, you'll hear my thoughts on that video when I do it in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Leave your comments down below if you're interested on anybody that I mentioned that I'm going to talk about in the future in the K-pop industry. And like I said, I know some of you guys gave those requests, and I will have your comments in there in the future. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and become a beautiful sunflower. We would really appreciate it. And you know what I say before we go? Hype us up. Subscribe to us, and don't forget to thumb us up. Sunflowers.